This is the Sourceseeker Hour. I'm your host, Baruti Carl Alexander. Oh, I feel so blessed. Hey, I feel so blessed. After what I went through, I'm just glad to be here, being able to talk to my brother Supreme, my brother Jeff. It's a beautiful thing because you take these things for granted, that you can do all these things, but then something happens and you say, thank God I'm alive. Thank God I have an opportunity to talk. Not everybody has that. It's a blessing. And we're going to talk about cash, credit, and digital currency. This is the Sourceseeker Hour. This is our 109th episode. And we are so blessed. And we have two of our veterans of the program to share with us, to give their knowledge. And I'm so blessed and joyous that they have decided to share with us. We are also live on Facebook, everybody. So Facebook audience, chime in, let us know what questions you may have about cash, credit, and digital currency. I know I have a couple of things to say about that. I put an article out there about money and credit. Now, before I talk about that, I have to qualify that. In America, the way the system is set up, credit is so important because they make it important. And the first part of that article was sharing that the way they have the system set up, if you don't have good credit, they try to slant you. They try to say that maybe you're not necessarily a good person, when that could be farthest from the truth. However, the way they got the system set up, credit is important. And it is not necessarily all that hard to have a decent credit. Now, when I wrote that article, I think my credit was about 535. My credit is about 665 now. And as we go along, I'll share how that happened. But at the same time, I want to make sure that everybody realizes your credit does not necessarily define who you are as a person. And that being said, I would like to turn it over for introductions of my guests. And please make a comment about what you think about credit as you're introducing yourself, Brother Supreme.
All right, yes, sir, Mr. Alexander. Man, glad to be on the platform today. You know, good evening, Mr. Hill. Glad to see you with the 10X hat on. All right. So glad that you're in good health, brother, that you're here. I did hear about your situation from the group. Glad that you made it out of that and that you're here looking the same, brother. Don't look like nothing happened to you, brother. So you're here. But thank you for inviting me to the platform. And where the system of the United States, the ecosystem or the economy of the United States is built on credit and debt. And that started back in 1913 when a group of international bankers took over the print of the United States dollar. And that's when money in America became credit. Now became debt. But it's debt and credit, they go hand in hand, and that's what upholds this system. And that's why the system is tanking right now, because they cannot continue to do that. And that's why we see a bubble in pretty much every market out here, is because the Federal Reserve has the print press going on. And we will go more into that, because that system, that credit and debt system, is really a fake scam Ponzi scheme system, because it actually shows numbers that's not really there, right? But we will get into that later. That's my comment.
You said, but see, you put something out there that's very intriguing, showing numbers that's not really there. Is that what you said? Let me be clear.
Yes, sir. It's an illusion. It's fake.
Okay. I want you to hold on to that and let brother, I want you to hold on to that and let brother Jeff, introduce yourself, and then let us know what you think about the credit situation.
All righty, so this is Jeff Hill. I am the CEO and founder of Hill Financial for Wealth Accumulation Firm and the creator of the Retirement 2.0 movement. And I've been on a credit journey of really learning and digging into the usages of credit. Right now, my credit score is over 800, right? And I remember on this credit journey hearing people say, would you rather have $1 million or an 800 credit score, right? And people go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And some people want a high credit score only for the sake of having a high credit score, right? Your credit score only is good as what you use it for. Okay, let's say you already have a house, you already have a car, and you don't really need to borrow money. What good is the 800 credit score really doing for you, right? Now, granted, I know some insurance companies will say, listen, if your credit score is lower, we're going to increase your rate because you're more at risk. That kind of stuff happens, right? But when you really understand how to use credit and or debt to leverage it to create income, it's a powerful tool. So one of the things that I started doing now is teaching people the better usages of credit. Like if you're following a Dave Ramsey, he's telling you cut up your credit cards, right? And for somebody who's fiscally irresponsible, that might be what you need to do. But credit can be a beautiful thing when you understand how to leverage it. And we can go deeper into that in a little bit, but that's my intro take on credit.
You know, I remember hearing the story of Spike Lee and how he started in the movie industry with his first movie. He leveraged all his credit cards. I believe that's how he made his first movie, She's Got to Have It. He leveraged every one of his credit cards, and maybe that's what you're talking about, Supreme. And he used that to make his first movie. Since we brought that up and you intrigued us, Brother Supreme, can you go into that? How you're talking about having that credit, having money that is not there, but it's just a number. I believe that's what you're saying.
All right, yes, sir. So when we talk about it, right? So it's two forms of it, right? So if you are gonna operate in the system and that's all you know, it is a form of doing it the good way, or it's like how somebody like a Robert Kiyosaki teach, or Grant Cardone, how they teach how to use it to build cash flow, build businesses, do investments and stuff like that. But not, it's bad when you use it to acquire liabilities, right? If I'm just using it to stay in the home, I don't afford the home, but I just got this $1 million home, but I'm making $100,000 a year. That don't add up, right? That don't add up. So they give me something that I can't afford. But if I'm not using it to create the cash flow or the wealth where I can afford those things, then I'm doing it all wrong. And that's when debt or credit will become like a modern day type of slavery type of thing, right? All right. So when I'm talking about it being a fake system is when they passed the Federal Reserve Act in 1913, December the 23rd, they gave this private bank, this private institution, the right to print the United States dollar, right? And they are a group of Jews, well, Zionist Jews, right? There's different branch of Jews. They're Zionists, right? They come out of Europe, okay, mainly out of Germany. The Rothschild is the head of that banking system, and they come out of Germany, okay? Now, they have something called fractional reserve lending or fractional reserve banking. Now, up into 2020, 2021, one of those years, up until this pandemic hit, the Federal Reserve, our central banks, brother, by law, only had to have a certain amount of bank deposits on deck. Meaning like this is what I mean when it's fake. Mr. Alexander, you come to Bank of America, you deposit $10,000 in cash. I'm at the window right next to you, getting a car loan, or getting a home, or getting a mortgage, or getting a student loan, or whatever type of loan, right? Credit card loan, whatever it is. They only had to have a percentage of your money on the books in physical cash. So they can take, say it was 10% that they had to leave. So they only leave 1,000 of your 10,000 in the bank for physical cash, right? but your bank account still says 10,000. That's what it say. But they loaned me the 9,000. So from your 10,000, they create a whole new 9,000. So instead of it being $10,000 from bank deposit, it should only be 10,000. They just created another 9,000. So somebody don't have some money there. There's some money missing somewhere, right? That ain't produced. So that's what we mean when we saying it's a fake system, and that's how the banking system operates. Now, Henry Ford, one of the greatest American entrepreneurs that we ever saw, Henry Ford said, if the American people understood our banking system, it would be a revolution in the morning. He said, if the American people, because it'll be a run on the bank, people trying to get their money. We see it going on in Ukraine right now. In Russia, they run into the bank trying to get their money out of the ATM, trying to get physical cash, and everybody doesn't have it. It's not enough for everybody. So it's all a scam. It's all like a hoax. It's a mirage. So
let me ask this question. The Federal Reserve, or what is it called? The FDA, or I forgot the acronym, but they have to have 40,000 per account. They have to guarantee $40,000. Is that true?
Not the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is not a bank like that. You don't walk in the Federal Reserve and do anything. The Federal Reserve is the overseer. They like the big bosses of the central banks and the credit unions that we see. So they said it was 100,000 that they supposed to guarantee security.
Yeah.
But that's 100,000. So that means if you put $1 million in there, they can literally telling you, hey, only 100,000 secure. So if anything happened, we need this other 900,000. We taking it. That's pretty much what they're saying in a nutshell.
And let me touch on something real quick, because I want to make sure people, when we use phrases, people understand them. You use the phrase "a run on the bank," so people, you have to understand what a run on the bank mean is when the mass people go take their money out the bank. And the reason why they want to prevent a run on the banks, because that will collapse the monetary system. Because again, if you're thinking about the 10-to-1 ratio or fractional reserve banking, and we start pulling money out of the bank doesn't have any lending power. If the bank doesn't have any lending power, there's no growth in the economy, and everything starts to fall. Okay, that's what they mean by they have to prevent a run on the banks. And this is why you see in some third world countries, or you see the news clippings of people in Russia, you got all these people lined up. Well, they can cut that off at any point in time after they've given out so much money, or they'll limit how much money you have access to. And that's why you end up getting the FDIC saying we'll protect anywhere from 100,000, no more than $250,000, which is where then you got to stretch out over different banks. But that's a different ball game. I just wanted to make sure I clarify what a run on the banks meant in case somebody didn't really understand what that meant. So there we go.
Yes, sir.
Let me make sure we clarify this. From both of you all's perspective, credit is okay if you know how to use it. It's not necessarily automatically a bad thing. It's not necessarily a good thing. If you know how to use it and leverage it, it's okay. But it does not necessarily mean that if you have bad credit, that you are a bad person. I know, again, I had credit when I wrote the article, Money and Credit. My credit was about 535. Now my credit is about 665. And I learned the game of credit a lot more because I was paying more attention to it and wanted to have a better credit ratio. So if you educate yourself about it, you can make it work for you. Everybody agree with that? You have comments on that?
Yes, sir. I wanted to say something too. But what I was finna say, thank you, Mr. Hill, for bringing more clarity to that. But what I wanted to say to that is, when the pandemic hit, they passed the bill. Now the banks don't have to hold nothing to lend. So it don't have to be nothing. So you put 10,000 in there, they can lend the whole 10,000. They took the cap. They took off the cap. So now that's why you see this thing is cranking up where trillions of dollars is coming into existence to be just outright blunt with it. Without people using credit, that's what keeps the debt going. That's why the debt is just over. It's over $30 trillion right now, right? And if you go back to 1913, America probably was $100 million in debt, close to 1 billion. Right now, you're talking about 108 years later, the national debt from what they show us, and we know, right? We black, we know that's not the real story. What we can go and look at the debt clock, that's what they're gonna show us, right? But if they operating with another set of books, what is really the total debt? What is really the national debt? It could be 300-400 trillion with the way they print dollars, because you got to factor in Social Security, you got to factor in Medicaid, you got to factor in all of that, right? So at the root of it, America broke. She broke.
Been broke.
She been broke. You know what I'm saying?
we broke.
That's what it means.
So
Understood. But that goes back to what you were saying about the magician, or what they show and what they project as opposed to what is real. And basically, the system has always been about that. America, in a way, is about that, showing a perception as opposed to what is real. You know, basically, the Hollywood culture, the television culture has always been based upon that. So once you know that, then you can kind of make that work for you in a lot of ways. So we've talked about credit. It's always good to have cash, but we've had this question before. Where should we put our cash? Should we invest it in real estate? Should we put it in a bank? What should we do with our cash? If we have 30,000, 50,000, and we saying that the bank is not going to guarantee it no more, but we want to make it grow, what should we do with our cash? What do you think, Supreme?
Well, the best way for you to protect it, but you will have to protect it yourself, is to own physical bullion gold. That's the #1 way to put a lot of cash in if you want to sustain it over a long period of time, because that's insurance. It's not going to so much make you rich, but it is insurance, right? And you will know that that value of that gold would be the value today or even more. But we got to remember, everything priced to dollars. So when the dollar falls, how that's going to look, we don't know. What is everything going to be priced to then? Could be priced to gold.
You think that would be better even than real estate?
Well, yes, because if you get real estate in America, you really don't own it. It still belongs to the government or the banks. That's why you pay property taxes. See, if I got to pay taxes on it, that means I don't own it. Whatever I have to pay taxes on, that solidifies when we understand true ownership. If I got to pay taxes, say for instance, I buy this house, $1 million, right? Down in Texas, down in Florida, wherever. And if I miss a property tax, they come take it, but the house paid for, I got the deed, that means I don't own it, right? So it's still, the land belongs to America. We not considered citizens, right? Even the Caucasian themselves, they not really considered citizens. So the banks really own the property. We just buying a mortgage, and once we pay it off, yeah, we got certain leverages with it and all of that. But if we miss that property deal, we miss that property tax, they come take that. So I'm not saying it's not good, but I'm just saying we have to know all of that. So don't be surprised, and they by law, if they need that area for guerrilla warfare, they just come move everybody out. Go on, get out your house. We need this area. This is wartime, right? Civil war or foreign wars, it don't matter. They can just push you out. So we got to understand the dynamics of America, because they was never to give us true ownership, right? They give us what we think is ownership, but it is better than not having it. So if you do have a mortgage to something, a deed to something, that's better than not having the deed, right? That's better than just paying the mortgage. So it's always levels to it and degrees to it. So when you deal with gold, you can have the physical gold in your hand and they can't tax it. They can't confiscate it. However, it is physical. So when you're dealing with that physical aspect, somebody can come and kill you and take it if it's there, right? So, you know, so you had to really guard it, really, especially if you had a lot. But gold is not borderless. So so you asked me the question, would I take $1 billion in cash, $1 billion in gold, or $1 billion in crypto? Right now, I'm taking crypto. I'm taking the $1 billion in crypto. Why? Because it's borderless. I can go in and well with it. I can have it memorized in my brain and go to Dubai, go to Africa. I can just go stay anywhere, plug into the internet, and I can have access to cash or whatever the money is. You follow what I'm saying?
Brother Supreme, we gonna get to that because I got a bone to pick with you about that last part. I'm gonna get back to that.
Okay.
We're gonna discuss that. I want to talk to brother Jeff. Same question. 10,000, 30,000, 50,000 cash. What you gonna do with it?
Look, everything that you just said. So a part of a good plan is a well-diversified portfolio. So I believe in having a little cash in the bank for quick transactions if I'm not using a credit card, right? But I typically use my credit card for everything because I like the points and I leverage credit pretty well, okay? Cash value life insurance is probably a huge portion of my portfolio. Why? Because why not act and think like a bank? The banking system has been around for forever and they are in the long game. So when I look at what I do, is it for short or for long-term purposes, right? So why not learn how to leverage money just like the banks do, okay? Real estate, a good play on real estate is from a tax standpoint, you get depreciation, you get cash flow, and you can get appreciation, but you don't make your money when you sell real estate, you make your money when you buy it. So if you buy it right and you're leveraging in the right way, then it's going to be cash flowing, right? Crypto, absolutely love crypto because you can leverage your buying power in crypto is way different. So one of the things that I teach my money management and investing class, when you think about crypto, okay, let's say you had $50 to play with. Would you rather put $50 in a stock or $50 in crypto? Okay, both of them can lose, but when I think about how much I can leverage in crypto plays versus stock plays, that's a whole different ball game. To give you a perspective, okay, last year one of my biggest plays in crypto, I put $500 in, and within 60 days it turned into 16,000. That's not going to happen in stocks at all, at all. Netflix just lost half, like $54 billion overnight. Okay, now can crypto lose money? Absolutely it can. But this is why you hear us say never invest more than you're willing to lose. But it's paper losses, just like stocks, 401ks, it's paper loss. So if you have paper hands, meaning it lost and you get a little shaky and want to sell, that's a whole different ball game. But when you have, like people like to say, diamond hands and you're in it for the long haul, it's a whole different ball game. But it's all about leverage. So I'm not saying just do one thing. Part of what I teach is diversification. So I want asset classes in different industries.
I agree with diversification, but I want to go back to the bone I got to pick with Brother Supreme. Crypto, man, I've been checking it out and working on it and so forth, and I feel like I've diversified in crypto and so forth. But now, Brother Jeff, you say, hey, you put in 500 and it went to 16,000, but maybe that was before it got saturated so much. Bitcoin is not making no more money these days. As a matter of fact, it's losing, and it's losing. Now, the new thing is the crypto.com, which of course you got the crypto.com center, which used to be the Staples Center, and it's big, but it's still not making no money across the board. I put in $800 and I've lost $300. So I want everybody out there to know that I'm glad you said that only put in what you can afford to lose. Because yes, it looks very good and people are talking about it, but don't expect to make no big money right now. You got to be in for the long haul. So I'm gonna leave my $800 in there for my lifetime, but I might not see it in my lifetime. Maybe that's the investment for my daughter, So I can't
questions on that,
promote it
Rudy.
right now. I can't promote it from that aspect. All I can do is say, hey, you got to give a future hope that this is going to turn out. Brother Supreme, I want to come back to you and let you comment on that.
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I definitely want to weigh in on your thought process too. I got a bone to pick with you on what you just said, bro.
Okay, I'm ready for the bone. Go ahead,
Okay,
Supreme.
so, okay, Ms. Alexander. If the crypto coin, for one, let's deal with the loss part. If the crypto coin is on the market, if it's still on the market, then unless you sell, you haven't lost one dime, right?
Right.
Remember, just like what Jeff said about real estate, on assets, you always make the money when you buy, not when you sell. So if you sell right now back into cash, then you took the loss. That meaning you agree with the loss and you want to get out of the asset because you might feel like it might go to zero. But if you hold it, then next year it boom, the next month or next day it can do tomorrow. It can double up tomorrow, tonight, right now. All right, crypto is not saturated. All right, it's just that you have a lot of people trading in and out of these cryptos and they know how to make money from trading. So when people are buying cryptos, it goes up. When people sell, it goes down. No different from anything. When they do the stock buybacks and those big billionaires go in there and buy all those stocks back that they just made all the money off of, stocks go up. When they do a big sell-off, stocks drop. That's the market. That's the nature of the market, right? Now, you got to understand what cryptocurrency is. Cryptocurrency is technology, right? So if you in a crypto coin,
let me try to make sure we're clear on this. In my opinion, my understanding is crypto is a part of a computer bit, a computer space where people that put value on it. They put value on the space of the computer blockchain on the internet or on the World Wide Web, and they have put value on it, and they are projecting that this value is going to grow, just like I'm projecting that if I hold on to this $800 and don't sell it like you said, that one day it might turn into $80,000. You know, so I'm betting that it may one day do that. Now, so far, my bet has not came through. My bet has not come through. I've lost $200.
Okay.
You know, so fortunately, I don't have to have that $800 right now. So I just want to be clear with our people out there that, you know, you hear all of this about Bitcoin, you hear all this about crypto.com. I just want you to know you jumping in there think you're gonna be rich tomorrow. No, that's not the case.
All right.
Let
me step in.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let me pick this ball with him, Mr. Hill. Let me pick it, Jeff. Jeff, let me handle it. He got it with me.
Okay.
He got it with me since I'm the crypto guy. But listen.
We both are. So I have to advocate on the side of both of us. Go ahead.
Listen, Mr. Alexander, this is what it is, right? So let's deal with it. Let's deal with it. Let's go to the root of cryptocurrency, right?
Okay.
Now, cryptocurrency, cryptographic currency. Currency, okay? What is the dollar that you put into it? Fiat, government issue currency, okay? Centralized money, dollars, decentralized money, crypto, okay? So if you in it, just waiting on it to go up, then you in it kind of like as just an investor, and that has something to do with crypto coin that you got, what the project is. You know, what's the utility of the coin? What's the long-term projection of it? Because it's a currency, all right? It's a currency, but you in control of it. Now, I don't just hold cryptos, and my crypto don't shoot me off dividends, whether if it's going up or going down. There's no need for me to hold them. The train to get rich off Bitcoin has already passed. Even if Bitcoin go to 80,000, 100,000 right now, okay, unless you're a millionaire and you go and buy a bunch of them, right? It ain't gonna really do you no good if you got $800 in Bitcoin. If it go double up tonight, that's just $1,600. Then you got to cash out something to use your profit. However, it's a currency. So put in a system, if you could spend the crypto with the potential for it to go up, because if you hold dollars, it ain't no potential at all for the dollars to go up. If you got $100, that's $100. You want to make it 101, you got to put another dollar bill with it. That's just that, right? Ain't no out of that. That's what that is, right? The banks ain't gonna give you no interest, not even the potential for you to get any interest, right? So crypto is about the technology. It's not so much about people giving it value. It's about what the value is. How could the crypto cause a demand for it? See, we got to go back to currency. What made the dollar the #1 reserve currency? First, it's supposed to have been backed by gold. #1. They tricked everybody with that. And #2, they tied it to oil. So since 44, everybody been using only the dollar on the whole planet to buy, trade, and sell oil. This gave the dollar the most value throughout the world. That's utility. They tied it to something that everybody needs. So if you could tie crypto to something that everybody's already doing, you tie crypto to something that people need, whether if it's mass adoption right now, but later on, as we see these monetary systems fluctuate or go down, people are going to be reaching for something. They're going to be reaching for something. So it's about the technology. Blockchain is the system. So the blockchain is more valuable than any crypto coin. The crypto is what operates over the blockchain. So without the blockchain, it wouldn't be no crypto. But you can use blockchain for anything. You don't have to have a crypto coin. That's why you got NFTs on it. Mr. Alexander, we got real estate, real physical real estate that we could sell like a crypto coin that represent real square inches of a building. Blockchain is ownership. It is verifying and giving us, the little people, the chance to own whatever we put our hands on. Because when we went back to the physical real estate, hey, you paying taxes on it, you really don't own it because they can take it, right? You're dealing with the money in your bank. You put $10 million in the bank, they literally tell you, hey, look, if we need to reuse this $9 million, we only secured 100,000. You okay with that? You say, yeah. Well, you got to be out your mind. No, I ain't okay with that. Give me my money. I might as well protect my damn self. You know what I'm saying? If you just telling me one day I come and take a deposit and you saying, hey, look, man, we only got 50,000 for you. What? Man, I got 2 million in here. What you mean? You feel what I'm saying? So that's what cryptocurrency is. So you have to get educated about it. You just can't throw your money in it and don't really know nothing about it. That's like throwing your money in stocks.
DYOR.
Throwing your money in real estate, right?
But let me clarify one thing before you come in, Brother Hill. You saying if it gets basically guaranteed, then it's really going to elevate, and they're searching for something like the dollar was guaranteed by gold and oil, and then right now they are searching for something to guarantee the crypto or blockchain behind it.
Not guaranteed. The dollar was never guaranteed. You talking about utility, right? Think about utility. You got a utility bill. You got a water bill, right? You pay the water bill for the water to be there when you need to use it. But you ain't got no water running right now. But when you want to go and cut on some water, you go cut it on. So you pay your bill. You pay your light bills for when you want to use the lights. But you don't probably keep your lights on 24/7. Some of us might do, but we pay that to be able to use it. So when you're talking about something attached to utility, so if I got a coin attached to a light bill, attached to a debit card, attached to private messages or emails or something like that, where to send a private encrypted email, you need to use this coin. if I had it attached to, we got an electronic car, and the only way to gas this car up, you got to use and gas it up with the coin, right? To get access to the electricity, you got to use this coin, cryptocurrency. So currency has to flow. It's a current, like
Last
electricity.
little point,
It has to flow.
it's not totally regulated. Wouldn't that happen when it's regulated? Is that where it's going? Let me go ahead and bring in Brother Hill.
Well, when you're dealing with regulations don't mean control. It just means that they meet their regulated codes, right? That don't mean centralized. But when you're dealing with regulations, look, we're looking for the crooks and the enemy to do the regulations. Who the hell are they to say what is legit and what ain't legit and all that? The SEC is a fraud. That's a scam. That's a hoax. That's to keep us out. They just not start allowing us to get into the stock market and all this stuff here and mass like this here. We just not started that. Why? Because their world and their systems are falling. So they need as many people as possible to get in now. So they had to take the cap where it used to be to get on NASDAQ and to trade on those big exchanges. Man, you probably had to have $250,000 to get in there. Now you can probably get on it with $5,000. You can get you a broker with $10,000, $5,000, $2,500, right? But before that, you couldn't get a broker if you weren't talking about over $100,000. You couldn't even talk to a broker. And Mr. Hill bear witness to that. That's Wall Street and the boys. That was the white man game. The stock market, he just not cut us in and let us get in like that. Why? Because it's dying. It's dying. So they need as many people as possible to keep it afloat, because as long as we try to play their game, they continue to get rich.
Brother Jeff, what you say? What you say
Man.
about the whole program?
Wait. There's so many points I need to backtrack on. Okay. So first, FDIC, they updated it back in like 2008 to be $250,000 of protection. Okay. But again, that's only as good as the agency that's protecting it, right? Then you talk about losing money. Okay, let's think about cash, for example. Okay, you lost 7.9% of your purchasing power over the last year, and you did nothing wrong. Okay, so when you want to talk about risk and losing money inside of an investment, think about it. The thing that most people want to have a lot of, cash, and they want to have a lot of it in the bank to have access to it. If you don't have your money in a position where you can keep up with inflation, you are losing every single year to the printing power of the government.
Every single day.
So when you think about average savings rate 0.06%, if you understand the rule of 72 divided by 0.06%, it will take you 1,200 years for your money to double. Okay. Now, when you mix that in with 7.9% printing power of inflation, you are losing a lot of money. So you need to have your money, to his point, in circulation in some way for it to flow, to give you a shot at outperforming the purchasing power of the government, which is why I said you want to have some diversification, okay? You want to have some crypto, but again, when you get into this just buy and hold, instead of the utilization and learning how to maybe trade against or leverage it, you can be a sitting duck out there. But then you also go into Bitcoin because it has a fancy name. So for them people who are wanting to invest, let me say this again, because I know for a fact we have said it on past conversations, okay? Number one, do not invest more than you're willing to lose. Do your own research is another one, meaning understand what you're putting your money into. Past performance also doesn't tell you what's going to happen in the future. So Baruti, when you say, guys, don't put your money in there because it's not guaranteed to grow, nobody's ever said that. Is there growth in it? Absolutely. Can there be a lot of growth in it? Sure. But if you're going to a fancy name coin like Ethereum, Bitcoin, okay, you run that risk of it being more stable versus an altcoin. So an altcoin, meaning an alternative coin, the coin that's not Bitcoin, can have way more upside potential than what Bitcoin is right now.
I just want to share with the audience. I put my crypto in crypto.com and New Cipher, and they have outperformed the investment I had in Bitcoin. I didn't put all of it in Bitcoin. I put some of it, but that Bitcoin is where I've lost some money. I have gained some money in New Cipher, but overall I've lost 200. But go back to you. I'm sorry.
See, I tripled money with crypto.com, but I sold out of it I got crypto.com at like 7 cents. And when it
Right.
hit like 30
Same.
some cents, I sold it.
Right. Right. And so what? So again, when you think about yourself as an investor, what is your philosophy? So one thing that people say, and again, I am not giving you actual financial advice. You need to talk to your own financial service professional and consult with a tax professional or a legal professional on whatever you're doing. But you need some type of strategy in place. Like, so some people might say, if you invest in the coin and it runs up, sell 75% of it because you want to lock that gain in and maybe hold 25% just in case if it goes to the moon, meaning $1 in value per. Okay. So you just need to have some type of system in place. So you can't just think, well, you know what? I hear about all this stuff and I want to get in, because now you panic buying. And all of a sudden, if it's dropping, you will panic sell because you don't know what you don't know, right? So increase your financial IQ. And a lot of this stuff you won't necessarily worry about. It's not as shaky as you might think. So if you are a long-term investor, what's happening right now shouldn't even matter. Okay. But you also got to think about when you say something like, well, I want that to be for my family. How does your family access your crypto account if they don't have your passwords? So that means if you die with that money sitting in an account and nobody has instructions to get it, you out of luck. So that money is going to be there for forever. Think about the dude in San Francisco that had like 23 million inside of his account and forgot his password. One more try left. If he missed that one try, he lost out on 23 million for the rest of his life. And there's nothing that can be done at this present moment for him to get that money back. So you have to understand what you're doing with some of these tools. Don't get excited just about the fact that I hear people making money. Okay, because now you're trying to get rich quick instead of get rich the right way by increasing your financial IQ and understanding diversity. This is the problem that I have with a lot of people. So when I say, hey, listen, man, I got this course that's going to teach you this for $40 or $100 or whatever. Ah, man, I can't afford to do all of that. But then people will run to go drop a couple $100 and they don't know what in the world they're doing. Invest in your knowledge. Doesn't mean you're not going to take some losses, but at least if it's losing, you might have a better understanding of why, and you're at least likely to go sell to lock in deep risk or permanent losses. Okay. And there's only a few tools out there that can give you guaranteed growth. And I'm the only person that has mentioned that. And I do mean guaranteed every single year, despite what's happening. So one of the things I teach for my clients is you need to have some non-market correlated asset classes that can guarantee your growth, because that means every single year, your net worth gets higher if you can't absorb any losses. It's a big difference.
Sounds powerful. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 109th episode of the Sourceseeker Hour, and I am so very fortunate and appreciative to be here with these two gentlemen, and they are bringing jewels of knowledge. And from the experience I just went through, this came up in my life. What's going to happen with my assets? If something happened to me and I'm not here anymore, what would happen with my assets? What would happen with my my pension? What would happen with my my crypto account? What would happen with my stock account? Who would access my insurance? All of these particular things. Do I have instructions in writing? Are there instructions in writing? All these things came up. They are very important, and we should think about those. Brother Jeff, I know you have a program where people can set those kind of things up. So when we do our closing, he will give you information on how to reach him. Brother Supreme, he has the FardMoney Network. He talks about money, all aspects of money, but he specializes in the cryptocurrency market. These are some of the things we talk about on the Sourceseeker Hour. We also talk about health. We talk about growth in many different ways. And I'm very glad to be back. We took a break during my illness, but I am very appreciative, and it's such a blessing to be able to share with you and be able to talk with you. I'm Baruti Carl Alexander, and we are at our close. Brother Supreme, share with the people how they can talk with you about money and growth of money and what they have. Is money different in Florida than it is in Texas? Share with us, Brother Supreme, what you talking about?
All right, yes, sir. Man, so you know, with FardMoney Network, we created two brands We also specialize in network marketing. One of the fastest ways that everybody overlook to get rich is network marketing, right? That's because, you know, you don't see.
What do you mean by network marketing?
I mean, by getting in a network of people, getting with a company that produces the product that will let you get profit or commissions off of their products. And you can do this online where you don't have to do no mailing, no buying of the product or nothing. You might have to get a starter kit, some called packages or whatever, right? And it could be a monthly fee, but that's a monthly overhead cost to run your business. If you go and start a traditional business, what's going to be your overhead cost with your light bill, your water bill, your gas bill, and your payroll, right? What's going to be that cost every month, right? So all businesses have a cost, all right? But network marketing is for the average person trying to learn about entrepreneurship, trying to get off the job. It's an easy way to steal away from the job if that's what you want to do. So we also specialize in teaching people the science of network marketing, because all the wealthy people I know, they say you should be in network marketing, right? Robert Kiyosaki said, Grant Cardone, Ben Patrick, like everybody, Les Miles, like everybody say you should be in network marketing because of the leverage in the way you can scale your business and build and get leverage and get paid from your influence. So network marketing also will put a light or will put a mirror into your association base, right? It will also put a spotlight on your personal development and how much you are a communicator or how well connected you are with your friends, family, and so associates. So we also teach that, and we teach brand building. Since we started FardMoney Network, we have came out with our second brand also, New Millennium Bankers, and we're just showing people the wise way to market and the wise way to get involved in decentralized banking, because my cryptos pay me. I don't hold no cryptos. I have Bitcoin. Well, I spend Bitcoin and Ethereum like every day, right? Because I get paid in it. So it's a different avenue. It's a different, it's a different conversation with me. But the cryptos that I'm holding, they all are shooting me more dividends, interest on my money. Whether they're going up or down, I'm still getting paid. You follow what I'm saying? They ain't just sitting there. I ain't just waiting on them to go up. So we in a system that does that, and we got it coming daily, monthly, weekly, bi-monthly. We got it coming all type of ways, right? That we can't even really keep up with it. So that's what we teach. We teach the science of all of that stuff, because that's what money's supposed to do. We got to learn how to grow money. So we have true passive income, true residual income. We have it, right? But it's in crypto, but that's liquidable. Just like you see this card behind me, I liquidate all my crypto in this with this card right here, called a GS Lifestyle. It's a MasterCard and a debit card that can liquidate up to like 10 cryptocurrencies at the press of a button, 24/7, nonstop, and they have different limits.
I just want to cut in and say this. When I go to the ATM here in Houston, most of them have Bitcoin that you can do from the ATM machine. Now, I've never done that, but that's what's happening. Is it the same in Florida? I mean, we can do that here.
Yes, it's in Florida, because we got two mayors down here that are pro crypto. The man in Tampa, she getting paid in crypto, and the man in Miami. He said he want to make crypto the biggest city. Miami, the biggest crypto city in the world. They even got a coin called the Miami coin that's on the exchange. But what that ATM is, that's really you buying Bitcoin. That's not you turning the Bitcoin back in the cash. That's you buying it. That's you going there with your credit card, and you put it in there, and you create a wallet right quick on your phone right quick, and then you will buy some Bitcoin. We teach that in our Blockchain Academy, how to use the Bitcoin ATM. We also have the Blockchain Academy to teach about all facets of crypto in the blockchain. And we also have NFTs, the non-fungible tokens. So we have it all, and we specialize in decentralized banking. Not so much just cryptocurrency, but we want to teach people how to bank and how money really works. Because if your money is not growing for you, if it's not giving you dividends, then something you're not doing right, right? You're not on the right track. okay? Because this is the time where we need to be trying to get as much residual passive income as possible, like Mr. Hill said, because we got to fight inflation. So I need residual money. I need residual bills. I need my crypto. Nothing can just sit there. If I'm allow it to sit there, I might as well sell it and go spend it and go buy something with it, right? You feel me? But it can't just sit there. It got to do something for me. So the true definition of an asset, yes, assets supposed to appreciate, but in the 21st century, they're supposed to give you dividends off of those assets.
Assets feed you, liabilities eat you.
So that's why we got to be, and back to Mr. Hill's point, we have to get educated. The more educated you get about crypto, the more you probably gonna want to get in it. But look for a system. Look for somewhere that you don't have to just buy and hold, because that's like 2019, 2018 type of way. And when you're dealing with proof of blockchain has two different platforms. You got proof of work, proof of stake. Proof of work, you don't get none of that proof of work residual, right? Because you got to be a miner to do that. So you got to unlock those codes. But proof of stake, they have them where you just hold them. And since that will stabilize the coin and stabilize the blockchain, so the holders of a proof of stake coin makes up the blockchain, not those computer rigs, not those miners. So as they use my coins to generate, to verify transactions, they shoot me off some of the fees. You feel me? It pays me, but my principal stays intact and my interest continue to grow. And so we operating on two. I'm holding these coins. If it go up, I make money. Boom. But they're also getting paid more coin. You got Bitcoin, Mr. Alexander. Bitcoin double up tomorrow. You got a certain amount of Satoshis. It's not going to add any more Satoshis to your account, right? It's just going to change the price value of those Satoshis that you have, right? But over here, what we do, we adding coins to your account. So you can start off with 1 million of these coins and then be looking up. By next month, you can have 1,100,000, 1 million, not without you going to buy any more. They go to work for you.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
So
it's an extra added bonus. So we teach that, and that's what we do. FardMoney Network. You can follow us on all social media platforms. New Millennium Bankers. We on IG, personal page for Mahdi, Facebook, and IG. 2 YouTube channels. So we have all of that. But we teach that science there. We specialize in teaching people the power of being decentralized, right?
FardMoney, I hope I'm saying the name right. I call him Supreme though. The Money Network brother. He shows us everything. He talks to us about it. He brings it to us in such a way that we say, we got to find out more about that. And if you want to find out more about that, contact my brother, get to know him. He just told you, just type in FardMoney Network and reach the brother and talk to him. And let's delve into this. Let's get more knowledge on this. He says we can get more coins, more value, and we don't have to necessarily buy it, but we can learn how to get more coins without having to buy it. We're going to learn more about that. My brother, Mahdi, Brother Supreme. Thank you, brother. Brother Jeff, give us your closing
Anytime, my brother,
and share with us.
Okay, so one of the things that I talked about a time or two is just learning how not only to diversify your money, but one of the things I teach people is how to keep their money safe, liquid, and productive. So I teach a age-old banking strategy that's been used for hundreds of years, and it predates the tax code. And I remember learning about it probably 17 years ago, and I got super excited about learning how to keep my money safe, liquid, and productive. Safety meaning I'm not worried about the market losses. This account never lose money, okay? Liquid meaning I have access to it, so I can take advantage of all the crazy stuff that happens in the market whenever it happens. Productive meaning my money can grow every single year if I wanted to, uninterrupted, tax-free, and it's also not reportable. So Baruti, when you talk about what do I do with my assets and all that kind of stuff, well, there's a few legal documents that you can use. One of them is called a will, okay? You can literally scribble a will on a piece of paper and date it, and it can hold up in the court of law. But that's just the point. It goes to the court, okay? Wills go straight to probate, which can be contested. So now your creditors have the ability to come in and say, hey, He owed me money. Hey, he owed me money. So one of the strategies or one of the concepts that my attorney gave me, she said, imagine a big boardroom and we have a glass and we fill it up with water. We started on one side, your family's on the other side. That glass gets to pass down and all your creditors get to take a sip. And whatever's left over in that cup when they're all done is what your family gets. That doesn't have to be an issue. So when you step your game up and you get into using trust and understanding how trust works, it costs you way more money because it has way more strength. A trust allows you to keep your private life private. So now you can let your trust own the assets. So now you own nothing but control everything. Your trust can also be the beneficiary, allowing you to govern your assets from the grave. Okay. So for me, I kind of do it like a vesting period, just like when you get your first job and they say, hey, listen, we got a vesting period. We'll match you. As long as you stay with us, we're giving you an extra match. So they only get access to 20% of the trust of what I've left them out of the gate. So it's going to take them at least 5 years to blow through all of that money that I have inside my trust. But also I force them to buy more life insurance that's tax-free because I'm forcing them to transfer wealth into the future. So when you understand how to take control of your financial future and use and leverage these tools, you have more peace of mind and financial security as you're going through life. So a legal document like a trust can help you protect a lot of your assets and determine where they go, who has access to, who has control, and who can make those tough decisions, especially when you're in the life stages, right? And that's one of the things we do in my company. And I offer a pretty good discount in comparison to going to deal with an attorney, because I have attorneys who are willing to cut their costs a little bit by coming through my network, because now they don't have to worry about marketing to find people. Okay. So that's one of the things that you can add in there, but you can also create an online vault. Okay. And there's certain websites out there and you can put all of your passwords and all that stuff in there. So in or when the event that the good Lord calls you home, that stuff transfers to your family. So you say, hey, I want my brother to have access to my crypto because I know he understands it. Here's all my passwords. Here's all my passphrases I need to access that. Okay. I want my daughter to have my real estate because I know she's better with it. I want my nephew to have my business because I know he has a knack for it. You can determine where all that stuff goes. So diversify, do your own research, and let's level up our financial IQ so we can take advantage of what's going on, because there's so much money moving right now, but there's also so much noise. The amount of noise is at an all-time high. So you need to work with a professional to maybe cut through some of that noise, and we can ask the right questions to design a plan that's designed around what you want.
Super powerful.
So let me give you guys how to contact me. Okay, wait. So
ahead.
Again, you can hop on Instagram. My personal page is Jeff Hill Speaks. The business page is HFG Inc., which stands for Hill Financial Group Incorporated. You can also go to the retirement20.com website. This is a website, a funnel that I'm building is going to help educate you guys. So it's not even fully complete right now, but it's enough for you to go in there and get value on what I'm teaching you. So hop in, because there I offer a 25% discount on the trust that goes inside estate plans out of the gate. So that's a really, really generous offer. So go to retirement20.com and you can tap in and get into the inner circle and start learning from me. And I'm going to help you organize your thinking around a lot of what's going on. If you need to text or call me, 501-291-0708. That is 501-291-0708. And you can contact me, Jeff Hill. Thank you.
Facebook, the audience. This is what we do on the Sourceseeker Hour. We try to bring knowledge to you, pertinent information, things that are important. I'm so blessed to be able to come back and bring shows like this. It's a very valuable thing. It's important to me. This is our 109th episode. And of course, I'm always going to bring these brothers back. You see the type of knowledge that they bring to you, and we're going to continue to bring knowledge in every area of life. We're talking about medical, we're talking about growth, we're talking about nutrition, we're talking about financial. Brother Jeff just talked about estate, and very important, through the time I just had, those kind of things came up. Very important to write these things down. And on the Sourceseeker Hour, these are the type of issues that we're talking about. So continue to watch the Sourceseeker Hour. We will see you in a couple of weeks, where we're going to be talking about why teachers are leaving and very few are coming back to the profession. There's a critical situation in education in America. Why is that the case? And how can we go beyond that? And do we need to do it in our small communities? Because the public school system is incapable of handling the crisis. So we're going to discuss that in 2 weeks on the Sourceseeker Hour. I'm your host, Baruti Carl Alexander. Oh, I'm so blessed to be back with you. Thank you very much. Thank our guests, Brother Supreme, Brother Jeff. Contact them, continue the conversation. This is the Sourceseeker Hour. We will see you next time. Thank you very much.